Hello, chess family. It's me, National Master Jesse James, and today we're taking a look at a new, young, upcoming player, Sarayu. Now, she is part of the new Indian chess generation that's doing very well and making amazing strides in chess. Well, she did so well in this last tournament with her 1800 FIDE rating. She was able to take out strong masters that were 400 to 600 points above her, and she only got second place behind the person that actually got first place. And with that being said, she went ahead and got a lot of norms for this one. In fact, she was only half a point away from getting a grandmaster number. She got IM norm, she got women's grandmaster, and I think she got a master norm also. So let's go and take a look at her games. Typically, I do like to jump around to the very interesting parts of the games, but she had some very nice games in this one with the openings that I really wanted to show you guys because she has such an aggressive game. So let's go and take a look at this first one when she was playing against Martinez Ramirez, and well, she got the white pieces. And here we go, e4, c6. She plays against the very popular right now, Caro-Kann. All right, let's see what she does. She goes d4, d5, pawn to e5, the advanced variation, bishop to f5, pawn to h4, and I love this move right here. Here, this is saying I'm going to be pushing my pawns up on the king side, and well, I'm going to just go ahead and attack you. h6 got played to have an escape square. g4, bishop back to d7, pawn to h5. She's going to push these pawns all the way down Martinez's throat. Pawn to c5, of course, trying to attack on the queen side. Pawn c3, a lot of pawn moves here, but a very aggressive setup. Knight c6, bishop h3, a very strange place I'd never really seen the bishop get developed to in this opening. e6, knight to e2. I love the knight here on e2 rather than going to its regular square, which is on f3. On e2, it just has more better jumps, in my opinion. All right, a5 got played again. Black is really not developing his pieces, and well, just pushing on the queen side. Castles happens, a very, very cool move here. A lot of people would not want to castle as the king side is, well, pawns are all pushed up here. But, well, she says, my king is actually pretty safe here, and my rook can actually help out with the attack too. Knight to e7, bishop to e3, knight to c8, f4, knight b6, knight to d2, pawn takes, and knight takes. Of course, white has a very good looking position here. They may be a little overextended, pushing the pieces up a little too far, but she's going to get her attacking chances with that. So black wants to definitely try and stop this, so you're going to see black making some trades here. Knight takes on d4, bishop takes on d4, a4, queen over to e2, rook over to c8, and queen to f2. A nice little double attack here. Here she's getting her queen ready on the f file over here, working with the rook, and also a nice little attack against the knight here with the bishop. So black went ahead and made some more trades because, well, whenever you're getting attacked, it's a good idea to trade off pieces so there's less things for you to defend. Knight to c4, trades, bishop back to g2, queen to c7, pawn to b3. Whenever you're attacking, you need open files and diagonals. So here, she starts making some trades and opening up some files. Rook back over to c6, pawn to c4, and she's finally able to make an opening trade here, opening up in the center. Bishop c5, again, black is looking to make some trades. Pawn takes, bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes on d5, and now a nice move here, bishop takes on d5. Here she is able to win a pawn here, but the best part is that she's making threats and again trying to open up to attack the king. Rook c3 got played, threatening rook over to g3 check. You see this g4 pawn is pretty weak right here. Rook to f3, just defending everything. Rook to c2, and here, bishop to e4, attacking the rook. And well, bishop takes g4 was played, and this was actually a mistake, and she takes full advantage of it with a simple move up, rook over to g3, attacking the bishop. Okay, rook c1 check. Here, black is going to try and make some trades because, well, the king looks a little bit vulnerable here, so we're going to try and put as much pressure as possible. Rook takes, queen takes check, king over to h2, bishop back to d7. Hopefully no one took the pawn over here on f4 because, well, just a simple chess move. Bishop c6 for a nice discovery. So the bishop went back to d7 over here. Pawn to e6 for a nice double threat. Here the queen opens up to attack on g7. And also, well, we're putting pressure right here on the bishop for a checkmate threat. Of course, we're not going to be losing like that. Bishop takes on e6 and now pawn to f5. Here it is now a +7 position. And here it's actually pretty amazing. She was not able to turn this into a win. Now, she is getting a little low on time here if you can look at the timestamps. But, well, I would think someone of her caliber could definitely do this. Bishop went back to d7. Queen takes on g7, attacking the unprotected rook. Queen to d2 check. Of course, you got to try and create a diversion over here. King to h3. Rook over to f8. Only safe square for it. Queen to e5 check. King to d8. And in this position, she just was not able to create the right attacking chances. Again, this could have been due to the low time control as she's getting underneath that 5-minute mark or 6-minute mark right here. So rook d3 got played, queen to c1, queen check, and they just go ahead and repeat here. But still, very amazing. As you can see, remember, her rating is only 1845 against a very strong 24-26 rated opponent. Let's go ahead and check out the next game where she plays against another strong 2400 player. And this time, well, she got the white pieces again, and this time we get another classic opening, the French defense. Who doesn't like to attack the French? Here she goes. e4, e6, d4, d5, knight to c3, the Paulson variation, knight to f6, e5, knight f to d7. This has all been played hundreds and hundreds of times, so you can actually go pretty fast with this. f4. Like I said, I really like the way that she's playing. Very, very aggressive over here. c5 got played, knight over to f3, knight to c6, bishop to e3, a6, a3, pawn takes, knight takes, bishop over to c5, queen to d2, castles, castles, queenside, and you just know the game's going to get crazy now. Here we have a typical opposite side castling. What's the best strategy? Well, white's going to be trying to push over here on the king side, and black's going to be trying to push over here on the queen side. Who's going to get there first? Here we go. Bishop takes on d4, bishop takes on d4, pawn to b5, already threatening pawn b4 to open up the position. Queen e3 got played, rook over to b8, bishop to d3. I mean, this is looking like a very double-edged position. Very, very crazy. Queen to a5 was played, but it looks like she gets to it first with pawn to f5, again trying to open up the king side over here. Here, black went ahead and played knight takes d4, and apparently this was a blunder. White to move. Feel free to push pause. Can you find the move that Sarayu played here to get a strong advantage? Here, it's a +6. Alright, hopefully you push pause and try to figure this one out. Believe it or not, you have pawn to f6 here. A very strong move here, threatening queen to g5 to go for the lollipop checkmate. Obviously, after this, the pawn would go to g6, and the queen would jump to h6, and there is no stopping the checkmate there on g7. So, well, you got to find a way to defend. Queen to d8 got played. Here, the idea being is if you do try to play queen over to g5, well, I knew this was going to happen. I've already got this piece. Knight takes on f6, and I'll just go ahead and sacrifice just so I don't get checkmated. Of course, Sarayu does not fall for this. She just goes ahead and plays queen takes on d4. And here, black really could not withstand the pressure, so he just went ahead and took here on f6, thinking that, well, this is going to be good for him. Unfortunately, it was not. After pawn takes, queen takes, queen takes, pawn takes, well, white's just up an extra piece here, and she was able to convert this to a nice win. Well, we won't be finishing this game. It was a very long one, but still very nice technique. All right, on to her only loss of the tournament to the player, looks like Vignesh, who took first place in the tournament. And, well, this was a pretty interesting game. You could definitely say she is not cheating, as she does get outplayed quite badly in this one. Here we go, knight f3, knight f6. In this game, she's playing with the black pieces. g6, bishop g2, bishop g7. Just a double fee and kettle system over here. Nothing too crazy in this opening. Pawn to d4, d6, b3, d5 gets played. She decides to go ahead and attack the center. And here we go, bishop to b2, takes, 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 and takes on d4. Now this is where the position is just starting to get get interesting. Here she went ahead and played a very interesting move here with knight to c6, looking like it's just giving up a pawn. After knight takes, pawn takes, knight to d2 gets played. Here you'll see if bishop takes on c6, it's actually a pretty evenish position. Here black will just play rook over to b8, getting a free tempo off of the bishop. And, well, I guess this bishop is going to move. Anything else is just really not going to be up to par. For instance, something like queen c2 is allowing black to play bishop to f5 here, and bad things are going to be happening here for white. So, white played knight to d2, not wanting to go into any of those crazy variations. Queen c7 developing and defending the pawn here on c6. Queen to a4, rook over to b8, knight to b3, pawn to c5. This pawn actually turns out to be a target here for white, and, well, they put pressure on it right away. Queen over to a3. Rook to b4, try to put pressure on the c4 pawn. Again, this is pretty much evenish game, although in a few more moves things get complicated. Unfortunately, not good for Sarayu. Rook over to c1, bishop to e6, and it looks like black is actually doing quite well here, putting pressure on the c4 pawn. But here, I know this must have been a surprise, for her, bishop to c3 got played, and unfortunately, well, now white's the one who's going to be winning a pawn, or, well, as you're going to see in the game, the rook just gets into trouble. Rook takes on c4 here, and unfortunately this rook runs out of squares. Knight to a5 exclam attacking the rook, and, well, there's really just no good place for it. In fact, the computer's already suggesting rook takes on c3, just so that you can get out of this as soon as possible. Hopefully you could try to create some kind of complications out of this. Well, she went ahead and played rook to g4, and well, this must have been the move she missed. Pawn to f4, and now this rook is just getting trapped over here. And yeah, like I said, she does suffer a very bad loss now. Pawn to g5, just really trying to get that rook to escape here, hoping for pawn takes, rook takes, and the game is about equal. Of course, this young player is not going to be so lucky this time. Bishop to e5 got played, queen over to b6, rook to b1, queen to a6, looking to attack over here on the e2 pawn. Bishop to b7, queen takes, rook over to b2, and rook takes on g3. At this point, the queen is just looking very bad here, if not being trapped. And well, you got to find somewhere out for this queen. So she went ahead and just sacrificed the rook. Rook takes on g3, queen takes, queen over to h5, but here just losing too much material, and white's even being extra mean here, saying, hey, let's go ahead and trade queens since I'm already up an extra rook. Queen to h3, of course she doesn't want to trade. Rook over to g2, queen to e3 check, and yep, no good way to stop the checkmate unless you want to lose another piece. So after king h1, she went ahead and resigned. All right, our last game for her is going to be against Ruben over here. And this was another very nice game where, again, I wanted to show the opening. She actually gets a very nice miniature. Here we go. e4, knight c6, the Nimzovich defense. Knight to f3, d6, d4. Knight f6, knight c3. White just gets a very nice advantage with a strong center here. g6, getting ready to fianchetto. Bishop f4, bishop g7, queen to d2. I always like to play this variation myself. Simple idea is you want to go ahead and bring your bishop over here, maybe trade off, especially if they're going to castle kingside, and you can push your h-pawn and just go for a kingside attack. As we've seen, she has chosen very aggressive openings here. h6 got played to stop the bishop h6 idea. Castles queenside, why not? We're going to go ahead and keep developing our pieces, and well, we're going to put them into strong attacking positions. Bishop g4, pawn to d5, a move I really like. Knight e5, bishop e2, bishop takes, pawn takes. Again, I love these types of positions. You have these double pawns, but this is actually pretty good since they are in the center. She's got the bishop pair and an even open file to attack. Here c6 was played. It makes sense. A lot of times black doesn't want to castle because they're going to be castling right into the attack. So we're going to try to open up on the queen side over here and, well, attack the white king, as the white king can be the one that is more vulnerable than the black king in the center. It's actually kind of hard to open up this king, but she was able to figure it out. Bishop to e3, queen over to a5, f4, knight to g4, takes, takes, bishop d4. Getting ready to this critical bishop is very important, as this is one of the main attackers and main defenders for black. Knight f6 was played, queen over to e2, castles, and unfortunately now it was white's turn, and well, she found a very good way to at least win a pawn here. She found the idea of pawn takes, pawn takes. Here we see two unprotected pawns, so simple chess right here. Queen over to c4, and well, black quickly falls apart, unfortunately, in this position. He played rook over to d7, and she played the strongest move, pawn to e5, pawn over to e5, d5, queen takes on c6 check, rook over to c7, and look at this very nice idea. She plays queen to b5. She's got the extra material here. This queen is unprotected. Now she's actually going to be winning at least the exchange. Now in a +7 position. Not bad for a 2400 rated opponent. Again, she's only rated 1845 here, so this is quite a big nuisance for black over here. Knight, here we go. Queen took on b5. Knight takes, and here is the problem. The knight's attacking the queen. The pawn's getting ready to attack the knight. Knight to g4 got played. Knight takes over here on c7. And, well, she's just up the extra exchange, and she's going to be in a very good position here to just convert. At this point, black went ahead and resigned. So what do you guys think? I'm very excited to keep watching her career and even do a few more reviews of her tournaments. I know that she's going to be making a lot of progress pretty soon here. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't already, go ahead and give us a like and subscribe, and, well, we'll see you in the next video.